people.
What were you saying?
You remember that song from the 80s?
Do it.
Here's the deal. Right before we hit the air here for Sunrise Extra, seconds before the show began, Brenda Braxton turned to the rest of us and said, "What are we talking about this morning?" And we're talking about words, which made me think of that old 80s tune. What are words for if no one listens anymore?
I do remember
If no
that.
one listens, if no one listens anymore.
Who sang
I
that?
do kind of remember that.
It was a one-hit wonder, I think.
But is that really our topic today?
No.
What are words?
No?
Oh, words. Sorry.
Words, that's our topic.
Words are the topic of Sunrise Extra.
Very generic to me.
More specific, words that I find and some other people find, I guess, new.
New.
And then I find out, no, they're not new at all. Everyone knows them. I'm just the only
Well,
one who
everyone
doesn't
has a
know these
moment.
words.
You know, everyone has their moment. So here's the deal.
Okay.
Better
Yesterday,
explanation coming.
here's the deal. There's this Netflix show that is on track to be like its most streamed show ever. It's called Squid Game. If you have Netflix and you open the app on your TV, it's like usually right at the top because it's brand new. It's kind of a whatever. Look it up.
This is actually a more
Yes,
roundabout
okay.
way to describe today's
We had a
topic
news
than
story about the show yesterday, and in the script it said it's from Korea, so it said a Korean dystopian series.
Yes.
Drew was reading the story, and he was like, "What the hell is this? What's dystopian? Has anyone heard of dystopian?"
Nobody knows what dystopian
Dystopian
Yeah.
means.
I speak to you, Sunrise.
he wanted
Extra.
to change it.
I speak to you, Sunrise Extra viewers. Have you heard of the word dystopian before?
Dystopian.
Really, honestly? Do you hear people using that term at all?
You're just being a dystopian. Is
So,
that how you...
so then Nina and Brenda
That's
look at me, because I before I read it on the air, I was like, dystopian, like I got to come up with a word that more people understand and know. And they both looked at me like, people know that word. You're the one who doesn't
Dystopian?
know the word. And then I turned to my,
Never heard of it.
which one am I on now?
Still number one.
Oh, they're moving these cameras around so much, I can't keep up with them. Then I turned to my boy Rod Hill, and I always know I can count on Rod. I looked at Rod and I said, Rod,
Yes.
do you know the term dystopian? He's like, no, I've never heard of it. I
And
said, that's my man.
No, but you are one. That's what I said.
We did a high five, and then Nina said, are you guys happy to be dumb together? Something like that.
Yeah.
Fist bump me.
Dummies, high five.
So, never heard of it either.
I wish, this is where I wish we had you as an audience live, so I could go up to you with my microphone and say, Howard Wright. Howard Wright, have you ever heard of the word dystopian before? Jennifer Taft, are you familiar with this term? But I'm just going to ask you to chime in on the stream.
You're just funny because it happens
A lot.
fairly regularly, where you just run into words where I'm like, really, you've never. What was it, Dubai or United Arab Emirates? One of those.
UAE.
UAE.
It's not that I didn't.
United Arab Emirates.
That's different. I've heard of
There's
both of those. I didn't know they were so
some
connected.
other country you'd never heard of, or a volcano or an island or something. Anyway, we want to know, and it happens to all of us, you know, you're like, how did I not know that word? Last night, it was the word intimating at our house, which means like hinting at.
Intimating.
And my husband had never heard of it, and he thought I had garbled my speech and misspoke. And I was like, no, it's this.
Did we ever define dystopian? Did we ever define
It's
that?
like end of days, like misery of
fictional,
humankind.
Yeah, suffering and
Kind of like post-apocalyptic.
That sounds horrible.
Dystopian.
Well, then why don't
Yes.
we use
Okay,
that?
all
If
right.
it's in a news story, why don't we just
Okay.
say post-apocalyptic? Why do we say dystopian?
Well,
Because
this
you
show
learn
isn't
something.
really post-apocalyptic. It's like
I don't wanna
human
learn anything
misery
more.
and
Stop it now.
suffering and
There's some room up
badness. Yeah, you went to college for God's sake. Did he? I don't know.
Wait a minute. Yes, he did. You want to go to my house and see
What
the diploma
word?
hanging up
You
in
pay
my
attention?
office wall?
Have you later in life been like, I've never heard of that, and I don't know what it means? And I mean, we, you know, there's vocab words all day
Yes.
long.
Oh, wait, what do we got?
Jeannie-
I'm
Jeannie
sorry,
Carlson.
no, I was
No.
just going to say,
Okay,
I was
read
just
it.
going to say,
Read it.
this is not what that's about, Miss Carlson, and love you much.
All right.
This is not about making people feel dumb about a word. All of a sudden we realize, because we talk about it all the time, that there are things that, and words specifically, that we don't know, and that he doesn't know. You know things that I don't know, and vice versa. You are so bad. You are such an instigator. That's not what it's about.
HR.
I love Willie Huey. First comment on the board this morning. Willie says, words are for wussies. I let my fists do my talking for me. Thank you, Willie.
You are
for chiming
so
in this
bad.
morning.
How is this supposed to be going? How do you see this conversation going
I just want to know,
forward,
like,
Nina?
what words?
Don't you know?
Words?
Don't you
Yeah.
What did
have you
learn?
learned?
Let me look, because
had a good
Director
one the other day.
Director Brian dropped a word on me that I had never, ever heard of before. What?
Oh, it was
where
like
is it?
enta a coin collector, right?
Oh yeah, what's a coin collector?
Numisticist.
Yeah. Brian Numis is off
Numisticist.
today.
Numisticist.
I'll help you dummies out if you need it today.
Yes,
Just let
I
me know.
do.
Tap me
I
in
had
when you need
never
some help.
heard of new mysticism.
And that was a
Mysticist.
coin collector.
Mysticist.
Yeah, I,
No,
I
you
can
got it.
barely
That's
say
more.
it.
Mysticist.
Numisticist.
Numisticist.
Istatistist.
And then
It's a
just does not roll off my
I mean,
tongue.
Coin
Webster
collector.
comes out with dozens of new words every year, right? That they add to the
Let's look up their new
to the
words.
vocabulary. I think every once a year they come out with that
2021.
list.
What you got?
This is better than buns and brews from yesterday. I can already tell you that.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
I just lost. Okay, a name that I like to say. It's actually a proper name. It's a last name. It's the name of Mark Burgal. We had to ask him one time, how do you say your name? Burgal. So Mark says, I teach at the college level.
Yeah.
Not surprised, Mark, because you seem like a very intelligent contributor to our show. He says, I teach at the college level, and even I had to scratch my head over that word. Again, dystopian.
Do you see the other comment Mark makes? He says, I used extemporaneous in class yesterday and saw plenty of blank expressions on his students' faces.
That's good.
Wait, what word was it?
Extemporaneous.
Oh, extemporaneous.
Yeah.
You know, I
is a
get
good
that one
word.
confused with, what's the other one? Extemporaneous. That's like off the top of your head, right? Extemporaneous.
That's what he just
comments?
said.
Right, I know, but
Yeah.
there's
Oh.
another word that's really similar. And all I can think of, what is when
I
they
know the
take
word you're thinking
notes
of.
right after something happens? I'm totally blanking on the word.
Oh, it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Well, I gotta look it
What are you
up.
thinking of?
I gotta look it up.
Stenographer, transcription.
No.
Copious.
Okay.
I don't know. The words that are new in the dictionary this
So
year are like.
contemporaneous is what? So there's extemporaneous and contemporaneous. So
What does
that's,
contemporaneous mean?
that's existing or occurring in the same period of time. So if we have a meeting and I go and make notes afterwards because you've said something terribly inflammatory and I need to document it, then I write contemporaneous notes,
Gotcha.
existing close to the time that it happened.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have a very limited vocabulary. I do. And I know.
You do not.
No, I do, compared to any of you sitting on the desk. And so, I mean, I typically use very common, very short, very simple phrases. It's the way I grew up. I didn't grow. I mean, you're a word master, word nerd, whatever you want to say, Brenda.
I'm interested.
But nobody in my family was like that. So I mean, I'm originally, anyway. But I just didn't grow up around people that use a lot of words. So to me, vocabulary is a challenge.
It was
I'm with you.
hammered into our head.
Really?
At Jesuit, like in English classes, I mean, vocab was a huge. And what I hated at the time, but I actually came to really appreciate, and it's served me well, is we had to learn Latin prefixes and suffixes. Did you guys have to do that?
I had Latin for 2 years in high school. Believe
We
it or
only
not.
learned like the ing or, like parts of words, I mean, prefixes and stuff, and it helps you understand a word you may not know what it means,
That
but
makes
you
sense.
know parts of it, and I know. Anyway, at the time I hated memorizing all that stuff. I mean, it was like 4 sheets long of little teeny things, but it was big.
We had some kick-butt teachers, one in particular in high school that really prepared me for all the essays that I would write freshman year. So, rest in peace, Annie Six. But she was amazing. I feel like Annie Six was like, and again,
What's
I'm
her
like
name? That's a
16.
cool name.
Yeah, Mrs.
Annie
Six.
Mrs. Six.
But Mrs. Six. But I feel like, when I was a kid, I felt like she was already 85. I have no idea how old she really was, but she was tough.
Okay.
Annie did not play, but she taught me well.
Annie Six.
I have a couple words that were added to the dictionary this year. The other ones are kind of like BIPOC and easy, ones that you've heard.
Yeah.
The entheogen
Oh boy.
is like a type of psychedelic drug, like a ayahuasca you may have heard of, or psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms. The word entheogen is now the word for
The umbrella that
psychedelic.
covers all.
Yes.
So, how do you know you're pronouncing it right? Because I don't see a pronunciation there.
How else would you say it?
Well, you could say entheogen.
Oh, my computer.
But wait, it just covers all psychedelic. It's like an umbrella kind of term, or is it's for one specific
entheogen.
drug?
Her computer.
My computer literally
died.
just died.
Oh, geez, that's
Yeah.
bad.
It
Sorry.
says entheogen was on the screen. It quickly went away.
Let me pull it up again.
Jennifer Taft's using a lot of big words, by the way, in her comments. She must be a word lover.
She cussing us out, or?
No, she's just using a lot of big words.
Just kidding.
A wordsmith, they call it. Yes, thank you.
Renee Robertson, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. I learned
Oh, what is it?
okonomiyaki.
Oh. Doesn't sound
Okonomiyaki
English.
yesterday on a Guy's Grocery Games.
Guys, grocery games.
On
Oh.
Guy's Grocery Games. I don't know. Is
What
that
does
like
it mean? What does it mean?
Is that Guy Fieri or Fieri?
Fieri.
Oh,
Guy
is that
Fieri?
what that is? I haven't seen that. I only
Guy-
know
Here's some.
dinos,
Okay.
dives,
Also a
and
new
some
word.
other
Number
two words.
21, the 21st new word in the dictionary. Sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual?
If you're a sapiosexual, what do you like?
You are attracted to highly intelligent people. It has the Latin prefix
Wow.
sapio, meaning
Yeah.
wise or smart. It's a word only word nerds would understand.
Oh my gosh, is that why I have
To
a
boost
little
your
crush
chances with the
on Ezra
sapiosexual.
Klein?
Study up on
I'm
the
a sapiosexual.
sexual.
So I should stay away from women who are that.
You are attracted to smart people.
Huh, interesting.
Intelligence is definitely
Sorry,
an attractive
Dylan.
quality.
Silver fox, also a new term going into the dictionary.
Are you serious? Is that one word or two? Is it one word?
2 words.
Here's
Two
a,
words, yeah, silver fox.
Here's a good one from, again, Mark Bergal, who is coming in,
Bergal? Okay.
who is coming in today with a couple of big comments. Mark says, how about this one? Asynchronous.
Ooh,
We're using that asynchronous. We use it all the time now in regards to learning.
Not in.
Not in sync.
Well, because schools are using that term a lot. Synchronous learning is when you're in person. Asynchronous is when you're outside the classroom. Distance learning is another
Latin,
term.
again.
Okay.
But my
There you
kid's
go.
school does
I
it all.
like it.
My kid's school uses that term, synchronous versus asynchronous, and it bothers my boys when I come. Well, they're not doing it now because they're 100% in school. But last year I would say, boys, is today synchronous day or asynchronous? Dad, stop.
Willie Huey wants us all to eat mushrooms before the show starts, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, can you imagine that?
How do you know we haven't?
Can you
never
imagine
done
Drew
mushrooms.
on mushrooms?
So Jennifer Taft says Latin rules. She took it for 2 years, all because the teacher was hot, which means Jennifer Taft is a what again? She was attracted.
Sapiosexual.
Yeah, she was attracted to this intelligent teacher. Okay, all right.
Mike
And
Bergal
smart
says
teacher.
big words are sexy as long as you aren't arrogant in your delivery. Agreed.
True.
Yeah.
His last
I really
name is
like that.
harder to say than his first, but you just butchered his first name.
Mark?
You said Mike.
I said Mike?
Yeah, you did. I'm pretty sure she did, didn't she, Mark?
In my head, I said Mark. Apologies.
Byron Minger is asking us, he's the director of today's edition of Sunrise Extra.
Holy
He's
cow.
asking us, from this camera shot taken at Stoller
Yeah.
Family Estates in Dayton, what is the word you would use to describe this shot? I'd say blown out, distorted.
Yeah, colorful.
Vibrant?
I mean, there have been some amazing shots from that camera down there in
Yeah.
Dayton.
Yeah.
The sun is so on fire in this particular shot that it's hard to even make out where we're looking.
Kim Tannehill, what's up on YouTube? Sorry, guys, I was a little late to getting here. She says, Schlemiel. Isn't that from like Schlemiel, Shamal?
Yeah, that comes from Laverne and Shirley's Open. Yeah.
And then
What is the other?
selenophile.
Incorporated. I don't know
Oh,
those
she
words,
was
but I
giving
know
a
the
word
tune.
for the sun. Well, a person obsessed with the moon is a selenophile.
Really?
Selenophile.
S-E-L-E.
Selenophile.
I have always felt that it's a shame that we live on one of the few planets. Forgive me, I don't know the exact answer to this, but we live on one of the planets with the fewest moons in our solar system. So it would be cool if we had like 2 moons, 6 moons, 7 moons,
Absolutely.
and we just have one.
Yeah,
we
it's
really got
gorgeous.
gypped in the moon department.
Real quickly, Willie Huey is very good at kind of bringing things back to where they began. So, Byron Minger, do we have that shot from Dayton again? Can we show that shot from Stoller Family Estates? I don't know how easy we can pull that up. But Willie said that shot you just showed us from Dayton, it looks, he would describe it as dystopian.
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
That was the one
that
you'd never
was
heard
one.
of.
That's
Yeah.
the way it looks.
Drew had never heard
yeah.
of Machu Picchu.
You're right.
place in South
and then
America.
I think I basically said as much on the air, and someone was very offended with how they thought I was disrespecting that religious area.
By not knowing.
Which country is that in?
Peru.
Peru, yeah.
I don't think I know that part of the story.
You were right here, Machu Picchu.
Did I jump in and help?
You did. It was nice of you.
I think we both derided him, Brenda, but it's okay.
But it's a travel bucket list location for a lot of people. You know, where a lot of people write down a list of where far away they would love to see someday with their own eyes.
The Burj Khalifa?
Wait a minute. Before we're jumping all over the place. Rod, are you surprised to know that I had never heard of that place, Machu Picchu? I'm not even saying that.
I was a little surprised just because I think it's been photographed and written about in different magazines and travel magazines forever.
Yeah.
And then trample was a big issue because it was overloved, as we say about our own national parks.
My strength is numbers. Okay?
Yes, you are. You are a savant.
I could add.
Yeah.
If you take the calculator on your
Teachers
phone.
would be so proud of us.
You want to try this right now?
Well,
take out the calculator on your phone and just start adding singular numbers. I can't do like three. But if you just rip through about 10 numbers.
Yeah, you have videos of you doing
7
this.
plus 8 plus 9 plus 6 plus 5.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Wait, am I calling out the numbers?
Yeah, you go.
9 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 1 plus 5.
36.
Gosh, dang.
Unbelievable.
Hello.
Very good, man.
How do you do that?
Because I'm not wasting my time thinking about all these places I'm never going to go visit.
All right.
But how do you
I'm
really
focused
do
on
that?
the numbers.
I thought that was going too fast.
As soon as you said the first number, I just think about like you just did what they add to comes up in my head. And then you say the next number, and it just like the
That's
next
pretty
number advances.
amazing.
I couldn't even type it in.
I think I could do it with.
I
know, I was
numbers.
just like,
I think I could do it with 2 numbers, but not 3. Let's try 2. Like 12, 17, 23.
Here, let me do it. So
You need your phone. You need to be.
She's gonna
Oh
keep
no!
track.
Now you guys are gonna work something out here.
I
that's gonna.
did. No, we're not.
Okay.
We haven't pre-planned
we
this.
can't do
So I
this.
can do 2 numbers, like 5 2 numbers.
I'm saying, yeah, you can
Like
do any
22.
single or 2 numbers you want. 12, 5,
Okay.
23,
Okay.
66, 14.
Okay.
Just
Alright.
don't go 3 numbers.
I can't go as fast.
72, 49, 56.
Well, here's the thing.
Is it too much?
The
Too
trick with the
fast?
game is if the person's doing it on the phone, they need some time to punch it in. But
Oh,
you're just
I
rattling
see,
through
I
numbers
see. Okay,
quicker
let
than
me
I
do
can
it
keep
this
up
way.
with.
Drew
Okay,
needs
ready?
a couple seconds to
All
right.
calculate too. Yeah.
32 plus can't even 93 plus 4 plus 51 plus.
You suck at this game.
Can we do it?
You're saying it so fast, I can't even think of that.
Wait, I thought you said that.
Okay,
was
ready?
the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait a second. All
Oh,
clear.
boy.
22, 56, 78, 5, 1, go.
You lost.
Okay, yeah, it's in the ballpark of 160.
That's really good.
162.
62, that's good. That's
really good. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Literally just glazed over after the second number. I am like so bad at
Something
that.
in there when you did it, you went from like, when you threw that 4 in there, you got ripped through that so quick to the next number, I was still going for the first 2, but you threw in a 4. I'd like a replay on that,
got
please.
some
I
lip
can't
sweat
play
going
numbers.
here.
I'm the worst. I just got kicked out of the Sunrise game.
This is totally a change, but I do want, Veronica Gaston joins us often. And she got up at 3:30 this morning. She's got to go to a funeral today, so I know this is really a change
Sorry,
in gears.
Veronica.
But we wanted to say our condolences to the
Yes.
person you've lost in your life. She got up at 3:30 because apparently she's making elk chili for the reception after the
That girl
the
can
funeral.
cook.
I'm going to make chili
And so
today,
that's what
too.
she's been doing.
Are you?
But,
Wow.
sorry to hear that, Veronica.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Jennifer says, we don't need shrooms. Willie, we're crazy anyway.
Oh my goodness, let's see.
What else do we have here?
Don't play poker with Drew Carney, Jennifer says.
And I actually stink at poker. It doesn't help with poker for some
It
reason.
doesn't really.
Really?
No. You can't count
Counting
the,
cards?
all
Maybe
that
I'm not
stuff.
trying
I
hard
feel like
enough.
if you're smart enough to count cards, like just in your own head, it's not like you have some other system, it's just your brain.
Right.
Too bad, Las Vegas. That should
I'm
not
with
be a
you.
problem.
I am
Amen.
absolutely with
Mike,
you.
If
I
I'm
agree.
good at that,
Yeah. I agree.
I never did
You're
get
not
that.
cheating.
I'm
Las
absolutely
Vegas
with you.
basically saying this was not designed for you to win.
Right.
This was
Oh.
designed for us, the casino, to make a lot of money.
Well, it is,
Or
but
we
yeah.
are outlawing what you do.
But if you're smart,
Why is
that's
counting
cheating.
cards?
It's just like in not to get too deep in the woods, but with the baseball thing, the Houston Astros were in the news. Brian
For
Folsom,
cheating?
because they were using all these, they were stealing signs, but they were doing it, I'll say, with advanced technology to make it happen. But the old school way of stealing signs in baseball, to me, should never have been outlawed or frowned upon, because if you're giving signs to your teammate and I'm able to figure it out and pick it up, then
Yeah.
good for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
totally
see the
agree.
big deal about that.
Is that
Totally
that
agree.
Moneyball thing?
Moneyball was Oakland's way of kind of putting together a team without having
Based
the
on
budget.
stats.
Based
Yeah.
on raw statistics.
Yeah.
And not people. It's a good movie, I thought. Brad Pitt stars.
Renee
No, that was good.
Yeah.
had just done a 4-day trek to Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
Because she lives down in Panama.
Oh, hey, more. I'm sorry, I'm bringing down the conversation, but Veronica Gaston says, thank you for your prayers. It was a tribal elder from Grand Ronde who passed away.
Sarah Elwood basically says here in her comment that I am using my numbers game to show that I'm not an idiot because the name game obviously did, well, right? Did you read her comment?
I did, but I don't agree.
See how it makes some feel not as smart? It's okay, Drew, if you haven't heard of some places. You don't need to show us your strengths, i.e. numbers. Sorry,
I feel
Sarah.
like people project, which I do too, I suppose. I think that's natural for all of us. Like however we're feeling on the inside, then we look at other people and sometimes we start kind of the interaction from that spot. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
I want you to be completely honest. Do you feel bad in any way, shape, or form about this conversation?
Oh, no. I feel bad about not something. No, I feel bad, I do, about not knowing some of those words that you say I should know, or not knowing those places that you feel like you can't believe I don't know. But I don't feel bad about us talking about it today.
Right.
That was your
and what did
question.
we talk about the other day? This is what I do really respect about you.
But bad meaning not like I go home and go, man, I'm dumb. I go like, oh man, I guess I should have known those things.
I think that's a sign of intellect, right? Like you are so inquisitive and so curious. You started as what, a sports guy, then
I'm
you
not
went
that,
entertain. No, you are. You started as a sports guy, then you were an entertainment guy, and then you came into a news anchor thing. And you see stuff and you're like, I don't get that. What does this mean? What is that? And you're inquisitive about when things don't.
I'm not
quite
a fan
fit
of the way
together and with
news
words.
works. And I didn't know really how news works until they stuck me in the studio. And then I was like, oh, this is how news works. I was kind of on the outside contributing to the newscast,
Right.
but as an outsider.
Right.
But now I realize, like, I see some sentences and I go, I used to watch news and think, why did they say that? That makes no sense. Now I'm like, oh, they're asking me to read that. And it makes no sense. But it's not because I'm super inquisitive. I mean, I go home and I stop.
No, it is. But you're
Asking
anal.
questions.
You're like really detail oriented, and that will get you far with
Yes.
words and other things.
Although you're running out of time. How old are you now, Drew?
I know, where am I going? How far am I going to get? I feel like I've reached my resting place.
Oh my God.
This is it. Come on.
Oh boy, it's coming up on the Today Show, gang.
Well, thank
it
you guys
is.
for having some fun with that. That was a good math game.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys have a good Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sarah Elwood certainly thought so.